Hi folks, Coffee with John, Easter Monday. We are at verse 11. Dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God. So John's response here is quite mild, given that the catalogue of sins in, not Demetrius, I keep getting, Demetrius is coming, Diotrephes. And yet it's brilliant. He doesn't kind of descend to his level. What he does is he sets up this contrast between good and evil, and he says that we are to imitate, to copy what is the good, and we are to reject what is the evil. And if we do, people who do the good things, a life of goodness comes ultimately only from the life of God within us. But this phrase, seeing God, anyone who does, what does he say here? Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God. Now, he's not talking here about a mystical vision. He's not talking here about a dream. He's talking about how we view Jesus. So John 1:18, no one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in the closest relationship with the Father, has made him known. So what he's saying is that if we do what is evil, we don't know Christ. It really is just as simple as that. When our eyes are opened, we're brought into a saving relationship with Christ. We're not very keen on saying to people you should imitate people because we're saying, well look, we're all sinners, etc., etc., etc. That's true. However, I think you need to bear in mind that whilst that is true, there are people who we can imitate. I've been thinking about that a lot. There are people that I want to be like. I mean, I would say that my pastor, in a sense, John Flavel, although he's long dead and gone, I want to be like him insofar as I know him through his writings. If I was to name people today, and maybe you shouldn't, but I don't know, Paul does. I know people who are like Diotrephes, but I also know people who are like Demetrius. I think of Sinclair Ferguson, for example, who's such an inspiration and encouragement to me as he worked with me as supposedly my assistant, which was just a ludicrous idea. But he was such a gracious example to me. And I can think of others as well who are like that, who encourage and who inspire. And I want to imitate them. I want to imitate what is good, and I want to avoid what is evil. And I hope that that is your prayer too. So have a great Easter Monday. God bless you, and see you tomorrow. We'll come to the end of this rather long series on John, the letters of John, by the end of this week. So I hope you'll join me for the rest of the week. Bye.